The Astros begin interleague play with an intrastate rival, the Texas Rangers. The two-time defending American League champions have traveled the 257 miles down Interstate 45, hoping to win the Silver Boot. It's a flashback Friday, and there should be plenty of fireworks. The 2012 Battle for the Boot begins next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park, it's Interleague Baseball with the Lone Star Series as the Houston Astros of the National League Central battle for the Silver Boot against the Texas Rangers of the American League West. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros bring 2 straight wins on this homestand into this game, and what a tough team they're taking on in the Rangers, JD.
Well, the Rangers do everything well. They lead the American League in run score. They're very good on the mound. They're very good in the field as well. Wandy Rodriguez charged with shutting down this high-flying Ranger offense tonight, and he's a good candidate because he's off to a great start this year. Just 3-3, but a .99 ERA. That's the 6th lowest by any starter in Major League Baseball, yielding just a .205 batting average. He's 4-2 in his career against the Texas Rangers. Last year against them at the end of June, he pitched 7. Man, wear this out.
Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. The 8-game homestand continues for the Houston Astros. The Texas Rangers are in town for the first of a 3-game series. Then the Chicago Cubs will be here Monday through Wednesday nights before the Astros go on the road again. They have a good record at home. They're 12-8 here at Minute Maid Park. That's the second-best home record in the National League. They've won 8 of their last 11 in this ballpark, and tonight, a Friday night in May, it's a flashback Friday, so they take the mound with the old shooting star uniforms from the early days of the Astrodome. The starting lineup now for the Texas Rangers of Ron Washington, the defending American League champions for the last 2 years, is brought to you by Hyundai. It's Ian Kinsler at second base, Elvis Andrus at shortstop, Josh Hamilton in left field, Adrian Beltre at third base, Michael Young at first base, Nelson Cruz in right field, Mike Napoli the catcher, Craig Gentry in center field, Neftali Feliz on the mound.
In each of the last 6 seasons, Wandy Rodriguez has made 1 start against the Texas Rangers, and it adds up to a 4-2 record of 5.13 ERA. Last time he faced them, as I mentioned, end of June last year, 7 scoreless, allowing 4 hits. Keep an eye on the leadoff man, Ian Kinsler. He's got great numbers against Wandy. Defensively, it sets up this way tonight. Schaefer's in center. He's got Bogusevic and Martinez on either side of him. C.J. Lowry, Altuve Lee on the infield. Jason Castro behind the plate.
Nice sized crowd here on a Friday night. Fans are getting T-shirts. And, of course, fireworks coming after the game. So there's a lot happening this weekend. Tomorrow night, the Nolan Ryan bobblehead are given out. And a big crowd is expected again tomorrow night and then also Sunday. So it should be a wonderful weekend here at Minute Maid Park as the Rangers and Astros battle. And they'll meet, of course, in a 3-game series in Arlington later this season. For Wandy Rodriguez, who's 3rd in the league in innings pitched, the home plate umpire is Marvin Hudson. At first base, it's the crew chief, Tim McClellan, with Brian Runge at second and Ted Barrett at third. And Wandy coming off a no decision the very well pitched game Sunday at Pittsburgh, facing Ian Kinsler at 277, has 5 homers. He's driven in 18 with a 356 on base average for Kinsler. Kinsler's on a 3-game hitting streak, and he has scored 33 runs already this year. That's a nice pace.
9 out of 15 against Wandy in his career with a couple home runs. That's a 600 batting average. Just pumps strike 1 right through there. Kinsler leading off, typically takes that first pitch.
Kinsler might spin on a pitch too. He's a leadoff man with very good power. 11 doubles to go with his 5 homers. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Rangers are coming off a 3-4 homestand. Kinsler with those gaudy numbers against Rodriguez, posing an immediate threat. Rangers have lost 3 of their last 4, but they have a 4-game lead in the AL West. That's in the dirt for ball 2. In Wandy's career against Texas, he's won 4 and lost 2 with a 5.13 ERA in 6 career starts. Great one last year that JD talked about. 7 shutout innings. He beat the Rangers here June 30th. Now he's behind Kinsler 3-1. Kinsler's walked 19 times.
Wandy gave up a run in the first inning in that start against the Pirates on back-to-back doubles, and then he just shut them down.
This one's cranked in the air to right center. Brian Bogusevic over a few steps. That's out number 1. Yeah, Wandy retired the last 14 in that game and left with a 2-1 lead. Brett Myers coming in the 9th, surrendering a tying run. The Rangers pose these problems for pitchers, JD.
Yeah, a lot of problems. They do. They hit for a high average. They hit a bunch of home runs. Just a high, potent, dangerous offensive club.
They run the bases hard. Elvis Andrus at 320 with a homer has driven in 19. Very high on base average of 394 for Andrus. He looks at strike 1. Wandy is the sort of pitcher who has given the Rangers problems this year.
Left-handed.
Left-handed, precision, locates the fastball really well inside and out.
A pitcher's going to give everybody fits, and that's the thing you have to remember when you're on the mound. As good as this lineup is, the last thing you want to do is be intimidated and nibble early and fall behind in counts and then give in. You put them in 2-0, 3-1 situations, you're asking for trouble.
Showing butt. Breaking pitch comes in for strike 2. 1-2 to Andrus. Very good shortstop. He had a 32-game on-base streak, which ended a few days ago on Tuesday. That was the longest in the majors this year and the longest of his career. That one goes out of play. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Even though the Rangers are looking good at 24-15, in their last 20 games, they're 9-11 after that tremendous 15-4 start for Ron Washington. Josh Hamilton on deck. In tight for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Rangers have won the Silver Boot each of the last 5 seasons. In one of those years, they split the 6 games, but it was decided on run differential, and the Rangers had scored more runs than the Astros head to head. Last year, Texas won 4, Houston took 2. The year before, Texas won the series 5-1. So in recent years, the Rangers, as they've won that American League Championship the last 2, have had their way with the Astros. That little guy doesn't care much about that, though.
And they've won 14 of the last 18 ball games against the Astros, and they've been good here. They'd won 8 consecutive games before Wandy shut them down last year in this ballpark.
Now a full count. Close pitch there. Andrus is hitting .405 in his last 21 games. Rangers won 96 games last year, and they won their division by 10 games. Andrus just 23 years old from Venezuela. And he shoots a line drive into center field. He's aboard for Josh Hamilton. Hamilton leads the world in most of his offensive statistics. .399 batting average, JD.
Yeah, he's struggling. He slipped below 400. 18 home runs, first by a wide margin, 45 RBIs. I looked at it the other day. It was kind of fun to do the projections for a full season. He was on pace to hit like 75 home runs and drive in a couple hundred, something silly like that. Obviously, he's not going to sustain that, but he's having one heck of a year.
He had a 16-game hitting streak that ended when he was inserted as a pinch hitter yesterday. Went 0 for 2 in that game. They strike 1 to Hamilton. They play him on the pull side of the infield with Altuve pretty far from the bag and Lowry up the middle.
No surprise to see Hamilton attacking the first pitch. He's very aggressive.
Hamilton just came off a homestand with a .417 batting average, 10 for 24. Had that 4 home run game in Baltimore. during a rain delay a few days ago. He had a nice time with his teammates, frolicking on the tarp. Wandy throws over. The throw almost got away.
He looked a little Will Ferrell-esque there.
He sure did. Shot. Yeah.
Well, not quite as much as Adam Dunn. 7 steals and 8 tries for Andrus. That justifies the attention that Wandy's paying. Got to be careful with that move, though. You're going to step towards first, not towards home.
Past the mound, it goes to Altuve, and he throws out Hamilton with Andrus taking second, 2 outs. Now it'll be Adrian Beltre. Beltre has been playing with a sore hamstring, but it has not slowed him down a whole lot. He's on an 8-game hitting streak, hitting .294 during that stretch. Beltre with 7 homers has driven in 23, and for the season he's at .303. He is a very good glove man at third base as well.
Yeah, he's had a nice long career. Just a kid when he came up with the Dodgers. Was 15 years old when they signed him.
That's illegal, JD.
Yeah, well, they got fined for it. They didn't know it at the time.
Well, he's been rested some and he's DH'd some because of that hamstring lately.
Weighed about 140 pounds when he signed.
He's
got to be like 220. Yeah.
No. 0-2 to Beltre, the 33-year-old veteran third baseman who hit 32 homers, drove in 105 last year. Last year he had the second highest slugging percentage in the American League against lefties, .685.
Better than 300 career home runs.
Beltre went to Seattle after the Dodgers, then Boston. Fouls that one away. Still 0-2.
Defensive swing there to fastball out away from him. He doesn't walk much. Bit of a free swinger.
Last year he had 25 walks all season. Ground ball to short. Jed Lowry takes care of the third out. It's no runs a hit and a man left. The Astros come up against Neftali Feliz in just a moment. Astros come up with this starting lineup for Brad Mills, brought to you by Hyundai. Leadoff man is center fielder Jordan Schaefer. He's followed by second baseman Jose Altuve. Then it's J.D. Martinez in left field. Carlos Lee at first base. Jed Lowry the shortstop. Brian Bogasevic in right field. Chris Johnson at third base. Jason Castro the catcher. Wandy Rodriguez the Houston pitcher.
Neftali Feliz for the Rangers. As you look at his numbers, he has made 6 starts, worked once out of the pen, 3-1 with a .332 ERA. You see that note at the bottom. 72 saves over the last 2 seasons. Worked primarily as a starting pitcher coming up through the minor leagues. Then the Rangers moved him to the bullpen, where he enjoyed great success, but now back in the rotation. Here are the Rangers defensively. Hamilton, Gentry, Cruz across the outfield. Beltre, Andrus, Kinsler, and Young on the infield.
Catcher is Napoli, and he catches the first pitch. It's ball 1 to Jordan Schaefer. .256 for Jordan. 2 homers. He's driven in 11.
Easy gas from Feliz. Looks like he's playing catch, and it'll light up the radar gun at 95 miles an hour.
.336 on base percentage for Schaefer. And that's lined into left field. He waited back nicely and hammered it between third and short for a leadoff single.
Feliz, as a relief pitcher, was primarily fastball, curveball. Now he's using his slider a lot more and his changeup as well. So 4-pitch pitcher, and he's actually put the curveball in his back pocket a little bit, throwing more sliders. This is a changeup. Up being the operative word. Outer third, but up mid-thigh, and a good swing by Jordan Schaefer.
Schaefer's aboard. Altuve's at the plate. Schaefer has 12 steals in 16 tries. He's tied for second in steals in the National League. Altuve's 7th in hits with 46. That one moves him back. Ball 1 to Altuve, a .319 hitter with 2 homers, 13 runs batted in. Last night he had 3 hits, 2 of them infield hits in the 4-0 win over Milwaukee. Third baseman Beltre even with the bag. There's the breakdown. Napoli's thrown out 2 of 9. And an obligatory toss after turning toward first. Rangers have allowed 15 steals in 24 tries. There's been 1 steal in 1 attempt with Feliz on the mound this year. That's upstairs, and it's a 2-ball, no strike count.
When you watch him pitch, it looks almost nonchalant.
Really
Step and throw, and it's 93. He averages just under 95 miles an hour with this fastball. Only Steven Strasburg, who's just a touch below 96, throws harder amongst the starting pitchers in baseball.
2-1. Feliz is from the Dominican Republic. Atlanta signed him in 2005 as a free agent. Traded him to the Rangers in 2007, along with Elvis Andrus, Matt Harrison, who's in their starting rotation.
Salta Lamacchia came in that deal as well.
Yeah, from Mark Teixeira and Ron Mayhay. 3 balls and a strike. Seems like a very astute move now, doesn't it? Teixeira, one of the best hitters in the game, but he brought a tremendous package in return in that trade, and then he didn't stay with Atlanta very long. Meanwhile, Feliz has been doing well in relief and now becomes a starter this year.
These guys can't see the whole game. They're just getting here.
Runner going. It's grounded to short. No play at second for Andrus, and the stretch by Michael Young on out number 1. But by starting the runner, Brad Mills stays out of the double play. And Schaefer's at second for Martinez.
And pitch up in the strike zone, and Altuve still manages to get on top of it and hit it on the ground. It's always a tough call for a manager to turn a base runner loose there, because sometimes you're worried that it's going to, you know, some hitters will get a little anxious and swing at bad balls in that situation. But what Mills is thinking is he doesn't want to lay back and hit into a double play.
J.D. Martinez gets the RBI opportunity. Runner going to third. Here's Napoli's throw. It's wide, and head first in safely is Schaefer. What a play by Beltre, snagging that one. It was headed for the left field corner, and he saved a run.
Really great jump here by Jordan Schaefer. That ball headed towards left field. And Beltre, like he was snaring a line drive off the bat, leaving his feet to catch that errant throw. And you get the sense that Brad Mills has told his guys, look, we're up against this Ranger club with all that firepower. Let's just go for it. Be aggressive. Be willing to take some chances to make something happen.
13 steals. Pitch was ball 1. Tied up on the fastball. Martinez fouls it. It's a 1-1 count. JD's been in a long slump. This might do something for his confidence if he can deliver this base runner. 226, 3 homers, 21 driven in. In May, he's hitting 108, 4 for 37 with 2 runs batted in. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Feliz has had very good run support. The Rangers are averaging 6.6 runs per start for him. His last 2 starts, he's won both with an ERA of 2.25. That's there for strike 3. 2 outs, and it's Carlos Lee.
JD, after fouling off a couple of fastballs, thought maybe Feliz would come with a breaking ball, and he guessed wrong. Feliz able to clip the outside corner with his best fastball of the inning. That one clocked at 96 miles an hour. And number 4 there, right on the outside edge. Well, that kind of run support, that's probably got Nolan thinking about making a comeback. Like Brownie, you'd be at least 500 with that run support.
That's really stretching it, pal.
Get your old slider from your wiffle ball days going.
Knuckleball. Carlos Lee at 304. That is easy gas, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like he's playing catch.
Boy, Beltre seems to have rocket thrusters behind it. 3 homers, 18 runs batted in for El Caballo. Trying to get Schaefer home. It's a 2-ball, no strike count. Carlos has been excellent with men in scoring position this season. And just unloaded his first home run in a while a couple nights ago. It was 69 at bats until he connected Wednesday night. Leans back for that one. And the count runs to 3-0 on El Caballo. He's had multi-hit games in 4 of his last 5. Went 4 for 8 with a homer in that Milwaukee series after hitting .381 on the road trip. So interleague, he's solid. 36 long balls. 15 against the Rangers. That one shoots out to center field, backing up Gentry for the 3rd out. No runs, a hit, a runner stranded at 3rd, no score after 1. Nolan and Ruth Ryan back in Houston, where they've spent so many fabulous years. It was great to have them back. We go to the 2nd inning, no score. Wandy Rodriguez delivering strike 1 to Michael Young. 269 for Young, 3 homers. He's driven in 20. 392 against lefties. Fouls that one back. The Rangers really have not hit as well at home as on the road. Usually the conditions are extremely favorable at Rangers ballpark in Arlington, but the wind hasn't been blowing much in the early going this season. Their numbers on the road are tremendous. Batting average on production. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, didn't they win their first 7 road games or something
they
like
did
that?
You're right. Josh Hamilton and friends are 13-6 on the road. That's a liner out into center field. Hit number 2 for the Rangers.
Huh.
Patty?
Michael Young line drive. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, the Astros battle these Rangers in the 2nd game of this Lone Star Series tomorrow at 6:15. Head to the ballpark early as 10,000 fans will receive a Nolan Ryan Greatest Moments bobblehead commemorating his record-setting 5th no-hitter, courtesy of Coca-Cola. Root now and buy tickets tomorrow at Astros.com, guys.
Patty's a gamer. She sustained an injury during batting practice tonight. Stayed to work the game. Nelson Cruz looks at strike one.
Can't keep Patty out of the Lone Star Series.
Nope.
No way. It's going to take more than
baseball to the coconut.
Yeah, 80-mile-an-hour baseball to the coconut.
4 homers for Nelson Cruz. He's driven in 20. Got tons of power. Big arm in right field. Last year he hit 29 homers, drove in 87 runs. He's a very streaky hitter too. When he goes on a tear, he is something to watch. A happy customer in the early going.
When he's at his best, he's willing to use all fields. Drives the ball into that alley in right center.
Pitch way up, and it's 1-2. Cruz is strikeout prone. He has 41 strikeouts, doesn't walk much, 11 of those. He's had some outstanding years for the Rangers. 33 homers in 09.
See ya.
Strikeout number 1 for Wandy. Cruz slow to walk away from the Marvin Hudson call.
Knee high, outside corner. Perfect pitch.
Wandy's thrown first pitch strikes to all 6 hitters so far. Mike Napoli next, 250, 7 homers, 18 runs batted in for the 30-year-old catcher. A lot of chanting. Crowd is interesting. Lowry to his right. And a good play over to first. Young to second. 2 outs. Cat Osterman and Nolan Ryan both threw out first pitches.
It's a UT night here at the ballpark, and Cat pitched for the Longhorns. Of course, Olympic gold medalist. I'm surprised she threw it overhand.
Yeah.
And welcoming Nolan Ryan.
And the Express is back in the house.
Alumni.
Grew up, of course, in Alvin, Texas. Went to the Astrodome as a fan, watched Sandy Koufax and a lot of the flamethrowers of the day, and then became one himself, the all-time strikeout leader by far. CEO and president of a very fine organization. Gary Gentry, the batter. Craig Gentry, rather. Gary Gentry was the old Mets pitcher.
Yeah, you saw Nolan there, and you flash back to the old Mets World Series team.
You got that right. Craig 28, and he's hitting .328.
Interesting decision here to put Gentry on, and Gentry hitting .328, better than most 8-hole hitters you encounter. Brad Mills going to play the percentages here and put him on, and then face Feliz.
Feliz has not had a professional plate appearance.
So, for my money, I'd rather pitch to him and have Feliz, try to get him and then have Feliz leading out the next inning. I mean, I certainly understand this move. But as a pitcher, I'd always want to go after that 8-hole hitter, especially this early in the ball game.
Right. And there's an enormous difference between starting an inning facing Feliz and starting an inning facing Kinsler, we'll say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think this is, mostly because even though the Astros scored a lot of runs in that series against the Brewers, I think Brad just doesn't feel like his team's going to put a lot of runs on the board against Feliz.
Feliz taking ball 1. Cubs and White Sox played this afternoon. That was a bit of a wild one. White Sox winning at 3-2 at Wrigley.
Paul Konerko hit a home run. They got hit in the face with a pitch the next time up by Jeff Samardzija.
1-1. Kerry Wood came in and he struck out a batter and then retired.
Yeah, he announced his retirement, said he was going to make one more appearance and then retire. So when he was brought into the game by Jamie Quirk because Dale Swaim, the manager, had been ejected. Quirky had taken over. He's having some fun getting a chance to swing the stick.
Yeah, he is.
Kerry Wood came in and punched out the only man he faced, and the faithful at Wrigley went nuts. Big long ovation. Very, very nice moment for Wood finishing up his career.
Good way to go out. Swing and a miss. He struck him out after the intentional walk to Gentry. It's no runs, a hit. 2 men stranded, no score. Tonight, big crowd here at Minute Maid Park. AT&T has trivia for you. Who got the win in the Astros' initial victory over the Rangers in interleague play in 2001?
2001. Shane Reynolds.
That is not correct. Jed Lowry leads it off, bottom of the 2nd inning. Lowry takes, and there's strike 1 to Jed, who hit his 5th home run of the season last night to become the club leader. 274, 5 homers. He's driven in 15.
Astros becoming the last team in Major League Baseball to have a 5-home run man.
0-2 on that changeup from Feliz. Feliz pitched 62 innings in relief last year. Foul back. He's 0-1 lifetime against the Astros in 6 relief appearances. Matt Downs tagged him with a late game homer last year that cost him a blown save, handed him a loss. That's fouled. Still 0-2 to Lowry. Lowry's had a solid start to the season. Jim McClellan, the umpire there. Bob Davidson and Charlie Manuel got 1-game suspensions today. In the dirt.
Yeah, for that fracas in the Astro game in Philadelphia the other day. Interesting that Bob Davidson got suspended for a game and it was publicly announced, and that just doesn't happen.
No.
But apparently he is a repeat offender in terms of his approach to handling certain situations.
Fastball struck him out. Number 2. Yeah, that's the way it was phrased.
A little too antagonistic. No, Feliz, he's not trying to do anything fancy here. This ball right over the heart of the plate.
Rangers have the best ERA in the American League, 3.21. Solid starting rotation. They have used only 25 players all season. Brian Bogusevic is next.
Get him down. Boy, that four-seamer up in the zone, tough to get to.
234 with a homer. He's driven in 10.
Fox Tracks is brought to you by Steel. Bogey going out of the zone after that first heater.
Ground ball and into right field. Hit number 2 for the Astros. Bogusevic with 6 stolen bases. Aboard for Chris Johnson.
This time he gets a breaking ball, puts a good swing on it, and we'll see if he's inclined to try to steal a bag.
Schaefer stole third base in the first inning, was stranded there. He was there with 1 out. Johnson, with 20 runs batted in, has 4 homers to go with a .287 batting average. Chris went 2 for 8 in the Milwaukee series. Way outside, ball 1. Johnson's hitting .300 for the month of May. 4 homers, 12 runs batted in, and a .540 slugging percentage. That's wide as well, and it's 2 balls, no strikes with Jason Castro on deck.
Opposing hitters only batting .188 off Feliz so far this year. Left-handed hitters .153. Righty's hitting him at a .230 clip.
There's a move over to first. You have any explanation for that split? Oh, he's been tough on lefties.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing that his fastball changeup combination is probably a little bit better than his fastball breaking ball combination. He probably makes more mistakes with his breaking ball, the right-handed hitter. That's just a flat-out guess. I mean, not really watch them play.
3-0. He was 3-0 on Carlos Lee, and Carlos hit the fly ball to center field to end the first inning. It's a good-looking uniform. Shooting star. Fastball comes in for a strike, and it's 3-1. So that's the uniform for Fridays in May. When we get to June 1st, which will be the next Friday home game for the Astros, the uniform will turn over to the orange ones, the orange striped uniforms.
The full-blown rainbow?
Yeah, the full-blown rainbow. Whoa, hit by the pitch. That really got away, and Johnson's drilled on it. 2 men on, 1 out now.
Missed his mark by about 3 feet as he's trying to go to the outside part of the plate with that fastball.
Second hit batsman for Feliz. Beltre comes over to talk with Castro, the batter. Castro, a .225 hitter, has no homers, 8 runs batted in. Chris Snyder did the catching last night. He had a couple of hits, drove in a run, and scored 1. Wandy Rodriguez comes out to the on-deck circle. There's strike 1. The silver boot was on display on the field during batting practice. George Pastolas was standing alongside it as he did a TV interview on the field. And that boot will be on display on the main concourse for each game this weekend, if you care to see it. It's been traveling around Texas. It's 1-1. Looks like it's been polished. The detail work on that. John Blake drove it to Houston from Dallas. Media relations man with the Rangers. 1-2. John said he got some free jerky at one of his stops on the way down.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
If ever there was a reason to make a 3.5-hour drive with a boot, free jerky.
That's it. Spur and everything. Only trophy we know of for an interleague series. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that trophy's been changed down through the years. A couple have been broken. There was a glass one, right, years ago.
I believe so, yeah.
Got broken on the drive.
Jamie Hildreth dropped it or something. I don't know.
Well, the Astros took an early advantage in the series with the Rangers. They were 14-10 the first 4 seasons, but since then Texas has a 27-15 record in the last 7 years. Runners moving. No, the lead runner was moving. Bogusevic. Johnson was not. And it remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. So with 1 out, Bogey took off. Seemed to have a pretty good jump, too. Last night, the Astros pulled off a double steal with Schaefer and Altuve. So Brad Mills' club setting an aggressive tone on the bases in the early part of this one. Now Feliz looking back several times, and he turns back towards second.
They finally got his attention with Schaefer having stolen third base. Bogusevic attempting to. Now they've got him a little more concerned about that base runner at second. Doesn't seem to be overly concerned about anything. He's very calm out there on the mound.
Unflappable. Last year he had 32 saves and 38 opportunities, so he's been in a lot of pressure situations at the end of the nights.
Back-to-back World Series, too. That'll toughen you up a little bit.
You bet. He had 2 saves during the World Series last year, and the Rangers were oh so close to winning it all, and it got away from them. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now Castro was struck out 15 times. Decision here with a pitcher on deck with the base runners with a 3-2 count and 1 out. I say they're not going.
No, yeah, I would agree.
They're not going, and it's a walk to load the bases for Wandy Rodriguez. So Feliz a little out of sorts here. He struck out Lowry, then gave up a single to Bogusevic, hit Johnson on a 3-1 count, and walked Castro on 3-2. That brings out Mike Maddox, the pitching coach.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why they weren't going there. You know, Castro's got a good eye, certainly capable of working a walk. You don't want to put him in a situation where he goes out of the strike zone and does Feliz a favor there. Maddox with some counsel out there for his young right-hander.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
You're ready to hit here, Wandy. He's going to try to pour a fastball over the heart of the plate to get the jump on you. Go ahead, take a whack at it. Hit it over Kinsler's head and drive in 2. Pitch a shutout, and you're the player of the game. It could all happen right here for number 51. This could be big.
0 for 15 with an RBI.
He's overdue. Oh, he was thinking right. He just didn't get the pitch.
37 pitches, 20 of them strikes. Bogusevic, Johnson, and Castro, the base runners. Wandy fouls it back. 0-2 with Schaefer on deck.
Kelly Feliz from the same hometown in the Dominican Republic as Pedro Feliz, the former big league third baseman, who spent a little bit of time here with the Astros, but they're not related.
The Astros as a team are hitting 171 with the bases loaded this year. Wandy fouls it away.
Justin Verlander's got a no-hitter going. Top of the 7th against the Pirates. Pirates are batting in the 7th.
Wandy got his RBI in a 12-0 win over the Dodgers here back on the 22nd of April.
Whoa! Doctor.
1-2.
That's a shoulder separator right there.
Yeah.
Napoli. He was in yogi mode, though. He wanted it up, and he's more than happy to comply. Yeah, I'll throw it up there.
Then he got into trampoline mode. Wandy's down on strikes. He chased one out of the zone, but Feliz just has that ball sailing, and he's throwing very hard. Where's it going? That's the question, really.
one 97 miles an hour. Wandy's best AB.
It's up to Jordan Schaefer now if the Astros are to get on the board first. He singled to left in the first on a changeup when the count got to 1-1. Jose Altuve is on deck. Schaefer takes ball one. That's not close. Coming into this game tonight, Feliz had walked 18 in 38 innings. Last time out against the Angels, he won the game Sunday 13-6. He gave up 2 runs in 6 innings, walked 2 in that one. Napoli trying to coax him through the inning. The Astros have scored 1 run more than they had a year ago through 38 games. And that's surprising because the at-bats have been a lot better this year.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. We've been talking about so much about comparing this year to last year, but our memory of last year is mostly about the end of last year.
True.
You know, things were kind of going south there for a while. I don't remember it being that bad early.
It's 2 balls and a strike. Well, here's one difference, though. The pitching's been better throughout baseball this year. The Astros currently are ranked 6th in runs scored in the National League. A year ago, with 1 run fewer, they were ranked 9th.
The league ERA down a little bit. And that was a great year for pitchers last year.
Yeah, it was. Now 3-1. And the Astros have been working some long counts here on Feliz in the early going.
And he really hasn't shown the ability yet to throw strikes with any of his secondary pitches. Just sit fastball here, put him in a box.
In the air to left field. Josh Hamilton waiting. Feliz gets out of bases loaded, 1 out trouble. It's no runs, a hit, 3 men left after 2, no score.
New show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Houston, or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. And I'm out here in the stands with Houston Texans fullback/tight end James Casey and his little son Cannon, about to be 2 on Friday. Little father-son bonding time out here at the ballpark.
Absolutely, yeah. It's our last weekend before OTA start, and no better time to spend it than at the Rangers-Astros series with my son, the little father-son bonding time.
OTAs, of course, are organized team activities. You guys start with the Texans on Monday. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do there and what you're looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, we're excited. OTAs, it organized team activities, but it pretty much just means a practice. We're gonna, we have 10 practices, so it's our first time to see the rookies out on the field and to get the whole thing started again. It's kind of our first step towards, we get the 10 OTAs and then we get a mini camp and a little break, and then it's back to training camp and it's ready to go. So we're excited to finally get things cranked up again, and this is where it all starts. You got a lot of hard work put in to get ready for the season.
Yeah, and of course finishing up, last season on such a great season, the most successful in franchise history. And of course Matt Schaub coming back healthy. How excited are you guys to see what you can do?
We're very excited, and that's a big part of it, just keeping guys healthy. Just, we had last year we had Arian and Andre Johnson and Matt Schaub. They were all hurt at different times. So, we feel really confident with if we keep our guys healthy that we have a great group of guys together, and we feel like we have a championship caliber team. And if the defense keeps doing what they were doing, we're going to be a very dangerous team this year. So we got a lot of excitement, a lot of expectations, but that's what we want. We want high expectations.
All right, well, let's switch gears and talk a little baseball since we are at a baseball game. You, of course, are also a former baseball player, drafted with the White Sox in the minor leagues for a while. You actually have a connection with Lucas Harrell, is that correct? Hold up that thought.
That is an Ian Kinsler home run and a 1-0 lead. No, he didn't get it out. He got a double. Well, that was close.
Yeah, one wouldn't be surprised to see the Rangers dispute this, but Ted Barrett, third base umpire, made the call palms down, and he made it with conviction. So it looks like the Rangers saw what he saw. There will be no argument from Ron Washington. Kinsler kind of looking in toward his dugout, looking for everybody sure, everybody on the same page on this one. And we talked about Kinsler's great numbers off Wandy coming into this ball game. That's a home run. No, I guess not.
Okay.
I thought at first glance I thought it was up above, but it hit about halfway down there in that green section.
12 doubles for Kinsler. Andrews the batter. We'll get back to Patty after this next pitch. Andrews singled up the middle. And ground ball this time to Wandy. And Patty?
Yeah, back here with James Casey. We were talking a little bit of baseball, and you played with Lucas Harrell at one point.
Yeah, when I played the minor leagues for 3 or 4 years, there's quite a bit of guys that have been up and down in the big leagues, but just here at the hometown with the Astros, Lucas Harrell is a guy I played with, I think my second or third years in rookie ball and minor leagues, and he was drafted with the White Sox, same team I was, and we were on the same team for 1 year, so I haven't spoken with him since then, so he has probably no idea that, I'm in Houston playing football or anything like that, but, maybe one of these days we can reconnect.
Yeah, and, obviously you are an Astros fan, but grew up a Rangers fan outside of Arlington. What do you think of this guy right here?
Josh Hamilton's unbelievable, but I grew up in the Fort Worth area, but I've definitely changed allegiance now. I'm in Houston. I've been in Houston for a while now, so I'm rooting for the Astros, and there are quite a bit of Rangers fans here. But Astros had a chance last inning, and it looks like the Rangers are threatening right here, so hopefully Wandy can shut them down.
All right, I'm going to let you go watch it. It's always good to see a Texans at the Astros games. These teams always supporting each other. And, hey, I'm out here looking for my progressive fan of the game. So if you have anybody out here that wants to be my fan of the game, go ahead and tweet me, Patty Smith, FSH. Let me know where they're sitting and why they should be the fan. And maybe I'll catch up with them a little bit later. James Casey, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Go Astros.
All right, guys.
All right, first and third, one out, and it's Beltre batting. After a single by Hamilton, he cranks one to center field. Kinsler will tag on the fly ball to Schaefer and come home to make it 1-0 Rangers on a sacrifice fly. Beltre getting his 24th run batted in.
Big contingent of Ranger fans in the ballpark. They responded to that run, and the Astro fans rained down a chorus of boos. Good energy in the ballpark tonight.
There really is. There's a buzz here. Michael Young single to center field in the second inning. He's a .322 career hitter against the Astros with 10 homers, 38 runs batted in. He always seems to be lining balls, and the Astros are pitching to him.
And regardless of where you come down on the Astros move to the American League, it is going to be fun going forward between these two clubs when they start to play really meaningful games within the same division. Not that these games aren't meaningful, count the standings, but it'll be even more meaningful next year.
Fouled away. No balls, 2 strikes. Young had just 18 hits in his last 98 at bats coming into this game, but hit the ball sharply in the second inning. He has started all but 2 games. He's made 19 starts at DH. Mitch Moreland plays a lot of first base, but usually not against lefties. And Moreland hit 2 homers yesterday. 1-2 to Young. With Hamilton there at first. Hamilton's hit kind of beat the shift a little bit. He didn't hit that ball very hard, but got it through the infield to the right of Lowry. 4 hits for the Rangers. Nelson Cruz on deck. Bounced wide of first. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Yeah, this year could be kind of a tone setter for the Astros move to the American League West in some ways. In the past it's been great to have the silver boot and the 6 games home and home between the 2 clubs in interleague play, but now knowing that they will be in the same division next year, there's probably going to be a little bit more memory of this series going forward and emphasis on the head-to-head situations for next year.
Well, instead of 6 games next year, they'll probably play 18 games.
Yeah. Runner going. Throw is high from Castro. There's a steal for Hamilton, his 3rd of the year.
A lot of talk in baseball circles about quote-unquote 5-tool players, and Hamilton's certainly one of those. He can do it all and include come off the bag and almost be out as Altuve stayed with the play. Good heads-up play there by Altuve.
Sure was. Pitch was in the dirt for Castro. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the Rangers really press the attack. They're 4th in the American League in steals, but they also just run the bases hard, first to third, second to home, that kind of thing. Foul back by Young. 50 pitch mark for Wandy's laboring. He was really in a groove last time out.
Yeah, well, I think it's just the nature of this lineup. They just make you work hard. You just can't pump the ball over the heart of the plate against many of these hitters. You have to try to hit corners, and so you're likely to use more pitches against this lineup than just about any other lineup in baseball.
It's 3-2. Rangers lead the American League in on-base average, slugging percentage, total bases. They've outscored their opponents 221 to 143.
Michael Young, excuse me, a high average hitter throughout his career. He doesn't walk much, though. He likes to swing that stick. Right on cue, he draws his 7th walk of the year.
Yeah. Second walk for Wandy Rodriguez tonight. Now Cruz. Rangers fans chanting his name as he comes up for the second time. He was caught looking in the second inning. Jay Happ went 6 shutout innings last night in the 4-0 win over Milwaukee. And the Astros bullpen in pretty good shape coming into this series. Bud Norris had a fine 7-inning performance Wednesday night, giving up 1 run. Up the middle, and that scoots through into center field off the bat of Cruz. Hamilton home to make it 2-0. Cruz picks up his 21st run batted in.
Cruz first pitch swinging on a breaking ball. Actually got that one off the end of the bat a little bit. They were playing him strong pull. He saw Lowry way over, taking away the hole on Cruz. No chance for him to get to that ground ball base hit.
Doug Brocale trotted out for a quick visit with Wandy Rodriguez, who has allowed more than 3 earned runs in 1 start this year. That was at home against Miami on May 7th. A 4-0 loss. He gave up 4 runs in 8 innings. The answer to trivia will be coming up, but first it's Mike Napoli batting. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. He grounded a shortstop earlier. Takes a breaking pitch, strike 1. Question was about the 0-1 season and interleague play, and the Astros pitcher who beat the Rangers.
Oh, yeah. Scott Ellerton.
Good guess. That's line to right field. Ogasevican sliding for the catch to end the Rangers' third. With 2 runs on 3 hits, they strand 2. They lead it 2-0. Spending a little time with Mom. Quality time, FaceTime, face-to-face time. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-0. The Rangers lead it. Wandy Rodriguez throwing 19 pitches in that 3rd inning to reach 55 for the first 3. Now the Astros try to go to work on Feliz, who left them an opening. They had the bases loaded, 1 out in the 2nd. They couldn't cash. And Altuve, who grounded out on a 3-1 pitch, leads it off here in the 3rd inning. Feliz has been very tough to reach in the early innings. That's ball 1.
Well, we'll see where he ranks among National League second basemen. Certainly making a strong case to be an all-star. Plenty of time between now and then, however.
You bet there is. 2 balls, no strikes.
Feliz a little shaky with his command, so you got to be patient.
Eases that one in for a 2-ball, 1 strike count at 92. Rangers have skipped him in one of his turns in the rotation. They want to avoid having problems in the second half with too many innings piling up on Feliz after being a reliever. 3 balls and a strike. And they ran into that with Alexio Gando last year. He hit a wall in the second half of the season. And there is a walk to Altuve. That's his 11th walk of the season. Feliz was up and just couldn't make that adjustment and get the ball down. That's his 2nd walk.
Yeah, he has a tendency to kind of recoil, almost stand up, instead of finishing down through the pitch and driving it down to the bottom of the strike zone.
Well, the Rangers, of course, with Nolan Ryan's expertise, Ron Washington at the helm, and Mike Maddox know what they're doing with pitching. J.D. Martinez was called out on strikes earlier. That was crowding in ball one, and looks as if they were spot on when they moved Feliz into the rotation this year. Signed Joe Nathan to be their closer.
Yeah, well, if you've got a guy like Feliz and he wants to start, he has experience as a starter in the minor leagues, and he has a deep enough repertoire to do it. I mean, he's got, you know, quality pitches. I think you're wasting him if you're using him in the bullpen. I mean, if all he had was that 97-mile-an-hour fastball and didn't have good secondary pitches, maybe he couldn't cut it as a starting pitcher. But if he's got the arsenal and the desire to do it, I'd rather have him throwing 190 to 200 innings as opposed to 60 or whatever he threw last year.
Right. That's ball two. He's thrown first pitch strikes to only 4 of 12 batters. 27 balls, 26 strikes for the game.
Brad Arnsberg, when he was the pitching coach here, he made a good point. He said, with the power guys, I give them more leeway in terms of walks and working behind because they get a lot of swings and misses and strikeouts. It's when you're walking a lot of guys, plus you give up a lot of hits where you really run into problems.
Back in 08, he spent part of the year at Clinton, 17 starts there. He struck out 106 in 82 innings there. Oh, he got some help there from J.D. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And immediately after this, you have to, if you're J.D., just turn the page. He's going through an awful time. And he's mad at himself for chasing that high fastball, but you got to be able to clear your mind and get back in and just worry about the next pitch.
Carlos Lee on deck, and a toss to first.
Obviously, that's easier to say than to do when you're in a slump and you've got all kinds of thoughts running through your head. A lot more of those yellow balls above the box and below the box tonight with Feliz. There's one down.
Yeah.
Perfect pitch, and he didn't get the call.
3-2. Altuve with a little bit bigger lead. He's going. Foul tip, strikeout, and the throw is dropped. Altuve steals it for his 9th of the year on the strikeout by Martinez. 4th strikeout for Feliz.
It comes out quickly, but the throw on the wrong side of the bag, and Kinsler can't handle it anyway.
2 steals tonight for the Astros. Now Carlos Lee bats. Just thinking that a foul tip like that has to throw a catcher's timing off a little bit on that throw, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, and that's what I thought. On the replay, it didn't appear to.
No, it didn't. Strike to Carlos Lee. He hit a 3-0 pitch in the air to center field in the first inning.
See if they keep a close watch on Altuve now out there at second base. Whoa!
That's a good reaction by Napoli. 1-1.
Napoli's going to have to ice not his throwing shoulder tonight, but his glove shoulder. He had to go way up for one, now way out. He's gone out there a couple times. It almost looked like pitch outs.
And then that one spins up there. 2 balls and a strike. That's a real check for a catcher. Feliz all over the place tonight. And missing there. He falls behind 3-1. He's been behind most of the hitters tonight. This is the 8th hitter with a 3-ball count for the Astros. Jed Lowry on deck. strike 2. Runs the count full. Carlos saying something to Marvin Hudson.
This is the kind of game you more typically see in the minor leagues with a young fireballer that's really raw and doesn't have much of an idea in terms of location. You don't see it very often in the big leagues.
He is walking a tightrope, but has the 2-0 lead. Carlos calling time. Carlos was a one-time Texas Ranger. Part of the 06 season. Hit in the air to center. Gentry backing. Altuve will tag as the ball's caught just shy of the warning track. Gentry fires it into the cutoff man. It's a long out, number 2. So both times lead has hit it to Gentry. Went ahead in the count.
Flees with that riding fastball when he keeps it away from right-handed hitters is a very good fit in this ballpark because it's hard to pull that pitch out away. And you're just going to hit deep fly balls to center field, and this is a very friendly center field if you're pitching here. 436 straight away up the top of the Towles Hill.
Jed Lowry's the batter. Lowry struck out in the second inning.
I'm talking with Craig Biggio a little bit during BP, and he talked about Oswalt's adjustment to this ballpark, how Roy was very good at throwing that riding fastball out away and just letting guys hit it to center field.
Strike to Lowry. Yeah, this is a good place to get those fly balls to center. Gentry is a top-notch defensive center fielder. Shading to left center here. In tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. I don't know that we've seen a pitcher with a shutout going in the early innings missing the target as often as Neftali Feliz has tonight.
He's either going to end up being bad tonight or effectively wild.
Pulled foul. 1 and 2.
The next 3 innings will tell the tale.
Yes, they will.
Good hustle. Good concentration staying with that ball down there, boys.
Yes, it was. Bit of a battle for that one.
A lot of arms coming out. Boom, boom, boom. It's 3, 4 guys. And just great concentration. Stay with it. Tuck it away.
Way up again, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
James Casey should have been down there to pounce on that fumble.
He would have done that. .67 pitches for Feliz. 34 of them strikes. The Astros have placed 3 runners on third base tonight. Broken bat roller. Lowry tries to beat it out. Here's a barehand play by Andrus, safe, and the run scores. 2-1 ball game as Lowry on the broken bat roller gets an RBI with Altuve scoring. 16th run batted in for Jed.
Go ahead, Jed. Enjoy it. Still counts. Broke the bat. A little soft ground ball to short, but it gets the job done. Andrus, a very good defensive shortstop. Getting jammed like that, Jed gets a little bit of a late break out of the box. The throw pulls Young off the base. Lowry looked like he was going to beat it anyway.
Yep. So Lowry's aboard, and it's Bogusevic following. 2-1 game. Bogusevic singled to right field in the second inning.
And a good play there by Altuve, tagging up on the Carlos Lee fly ball, because obviously he doesn't score if he's still at second base. A good job of him recognizing early enough that that ball was going to stay in the park and be caught by Gentry, hustling back to tag up.
Sure was. Strike to Bogey. Jose Altuve was saying tonight during BP that he really learned a lot of baseball at the Venezuelan Academy after the Astros signed him. He went back the first winter after he played his first year in pro ball to learn some more. 2 hopper out to short. Andrus with the force play, and it's 1 run, 1 hit, 1 man left for the Astros. 2-1 Rangers after 3. This This moment in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. May 18, 1967, Jimmy Wynn's first inning homer nearly starts a riot in a 6-2 win over the Giants. The ball goes over the foul pole. Ollie Brown gets tossed, although it's later determined that Gaylord Perry called ump Shag Crawford on Meathead.
That's some good historical research there.
Oh, yeah. There's a bunt by Gentry. Wandy scrambling for it, throwing, and not in time. Gentry leads off with a bunt single here in the fourth inning. The Rangers up 2-1.
Really placed it all that well, but deadens it nicely, and Wandy has to scramble after it. And by the time he gets in a position to make the throw, Gentry is 3/4 of the way down the line and ultimately beats the play. Now Phillies will be asked to get a sacrifice bunt down here.
Gentry runs well, 5 steals in 6 attempts. CJ in tight. It's bunted back to Wandy. Wandy will throw to second, get the force there. Lowry on to first. Safe at first base. Phillies able to beat the Rap on a double play as the force play goes from 1-6 on Gentry.
Busy inning for Wandy so far. Good decision, good execution. Close at first. CJ is right up in his grill there.
Yes, he was.
I think they got the call right at first base.
Like
McClellan.
Looks like he beat it. Kinsler's the batter. He doubled and scored in the third.
The last thing that Feliz needs to do is run the bases after working so hard on the mound with all the pitches he's thrown. But he's young. He can handle it.
Wandy's thrown 57 pitches. 38 have been strikes.
Wandy needs to get a new playbook for Kinsler. One he's using's not working.
10 for 17. Well, that one will loop in front of JD Martinez for a single. He throws to second. Oh, he made it close. Feliz able to get there and avoid being forced.
And see, these people want to get rid of the pitcher hitting and go to the DH. This is exciting stuff to watch a pitcher navigate his way around the bases when he has such a little experience.
Never been on base.
This is high drama. JD threw the glove up to Deke Feliz as if he were going to catch that ball and almost able to force him there at second.
2 men on with 1 out for Elvis Andrus. Andrews single to center, and he grounded back to the pitcher. He drove in 60 last year. And strike 1 to Andrews.
Humberto Quintero would have tried to pick Feliz out 3 times by now.
Justin Verlander of Detroit has a no-hitter through 8. Detroit batting and leading Pittsburgh 6-0 bottom of the 8th. Delman Young hit his second home run for the Tigers.
Not a perfect game though.
To Hopper Lowry. There's the toss, and the middleman Altuve guns it on to first for a 6-4-3 double play. No runs, 2 hits, and we go to the bottom of the 4th inning with a score 2-1 Rangers.
Learn that you play a lot of pepper, you develop those skills.
2-1 Rangers. They've out hit the Astros 7-3 with no errors in the game tonight. 6 men left for Texas. 5 men left for Houston, reminiscent of last night's game when the Astros beat Milwaukee 4-0, and the Astros stranded 12 with the Brewers leaving 11. Chris Johnson will lead it off. 70 pitches for Feliz, 61 for Wandy Rodriguez. Johnson was hit by a 3-1 pitch in the second inning. That's upstairs, ball 1.
Throw a little get over slider there. Be curious to know how many breaking balls he's thrown for a strike tonight.
Oh, not many,
at all. Yeah.
1-1. Rangers are the first team in Major League history to start a season by playing 14 different opponents in 14 series.
Oh, that was a good breaking ball.
1-2. Yep, he found it. We'll see if he stays with it.
As Dan Quisenberry once said, I found a delivery in my flaw.
Slider is grounded to third. Beltre turns it into out number 1. And Jason Castro will follow.
It's the new Miller Lite Punch Top can for a smoother pour. And who doesn't want a smoother pour? It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
A lot of folks are at Minute Maid Park tonight. Tomorrow night it will probably be a sellout. And Sunday there might be tickets remaining. You'll have to check, but probably are some. Another big crowd is anticipated Sunday. As they stroll on the concourse, it's Castro batting. He drew a walk on a 3-2 pitch. Taking that slider up for ball 1.
Looks like Feliz has made a commitment to throw sliders here in this inning.
It's a 2-ball, no strike count. That one's in the air, and the left fielder is coming over, Hamilton. For out number 2. The Rangers would like to keep Hamilton in left field rather than center. We go to Patty.
Well, be sure to join the Astros before tomorrow's game against the Rangers for the Bayou Bash presented by Budweiser. The pregame event starts at 3 p.m. with live music, crawfish, and beer. Buy the special ticket offer at astros.com/bash and receive a game ticket, a pound of crawfish, and a Bayou Bash koozie. Sounds like a good time, guys.
You bet it does. Thanks, Patty. 2 outs. Wandy Rodriguez, the batter. He struck out. One of the key outs for Neftali Feliz. Bases loaded, 1 out, and he whiffed Wandy and then got Schaefer on a fly ball to left.
Wandy's batting right-handed now.
It's hard to predict what he's going to come up with, isn't it? 2-0.
He's messing with him.
He must have looked at the stats against Feliz.
Wow, where was that one?
Right-handed hitters are hitting 80 points higher against Feliz, so the switch hitter go up to the right against him. 3-0. 80 pitches.
Has he taken any right-handed at-bats this year? I thought he put that to bed.
We're going to check.
Look at that.
He's drawn a walk.
It's a thing of beauty.
We don't have a breakdown on Wandy's at-bats, do we?
They don't put him in the stat sheet as a switch hitter.
That's the 3rd walk for Feliz, and now Ron Washington's going to trot to the mound. See if he can help get Feliz through this 4th inning.
Do you realize that was the opposing pitcher batting from the other side of the plate? Come on, man. You're killing me.
Justin Verlander has 1 out of the 9th inning in pursuit of another no-hitter. Josh Harrison's the batter right now for the Pirates. Neil Walker to follow.
Yeah, I got it on the television here in the booth. I was watching it. He's throwing 99 miles an hour in the 9th inning.
What would that be, his 3rd no-hitter?
Sounds right. Yeah, I think so. Last time the Pirates were no-hit, 1971, by a fellow by the name of Bob Gibson.
Ooh. Jordan Schaefer singled to left in the 1st. He hit a fly ball to left in the 2nd. Wandy's not being held on by Michael Young. Fastball, strike 1. The Astros last night received the 2012 American Marketing Association Houston Crystal Award for Best Branding Rebranding Campaign for the Root advertising campaign. Kathleen Clark coming up with that. That was launched in March. Bunted, and it's a foul ball.
I was eyeing the TV. No hitter's gone.
Oh.
Sorry, folks. I know it's disconcerting to have somebody responding to something that's not going on.
Thought you were commenting on the bunt being foul. Tell us what happened.
Harrison got a base hit up the middle.
Okay.
All right, focus.
Clean hit. And the Astros have created a new television and webisode campaign, and that's debuting tonight. featuring clips showcasing the intense mental and physical preparation of several players, while their voices provide a backdrop description. Oh, 0-2 to Schaefer. Altuve's on deck. Struck him out. In the fourth inning, it's no runs, no hits, and a man stranded through 4, 2-1 Texas.
Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock on your local Fox affiliate, KRIB Channel 26 here in Houston. Lucas Harrell gets the ball, facing the Rangers for his first time ever in his first interleague start. Last time out, took the loss in Philadelphia on Monday. Lucas Harrell will be going against left-hander Derek Holland. Again, coverage begins tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on Fox. It's been your Mazda game break. Brownie, JD, back to you.
James Casey will be rooting him on. Rangers 2, Astros 1, top of the fifth inning. Hamilton, Beltre, and Young. Josh Hamilton singled, stole a base, and scored in the third inning when the Rangers got 2 runs. He's 1 for 2. Well, he has generated a ton of publicity this season, and rightfully so with his exploits. Infield has shifted around on Hamilton, but he beat that shift with a dribbling single to the shortstop side of the bag earlier. Now a 2-hopper to Altuve. Positioned well for out number 1 for Wandy Rodriguez. So in that third inning, it was a double by Kinsler, a single by Hamilton, and take a look at it. Beltre with a sac fly, and Cruz with the RBI single. And then the Astros on a Lowry infield hit, scoring Altuve, come back to make it 2-1. Now a curveball is good for strike 1 to Beltre. Beltre, with that sac fly in the third, also had grounded out earlier. Lays off the curve, and that takes it to a 1-1 count. In Wandy's career at Minute Maid Park, he's 44-32 with a 3.32 ERA. Out to left center field. Schaefer with a long run. And it's in for a hit. Beltre going for second. Here's the throw to Altuve. Not in time. He hustles a double. Hamstring must be feeling better.
Gordon didn't really hurry to get that ball back in. It was weird. Initially off the bat, I thought Beltre had hit one out to the wall, but must have caught it down off the end of the bat a little bit. He's got a little hitch in his giddy up there. You can tell something's bothering him a little bit, but he presses it and gets the head first slide in ahead of the throw from Schaefer. And maybe it's just a matter of Jordan taking a couple of steps to get turned in the right direction. There appeared to be a real sense of urgency out there in the outfield.
No.
See, a little casual there. Might have cost him.
Looked like it did. Double number 9 for Beltre. Second double for the Rangers tonight. They have 8 hits. It's Young batting. Strike 1 to Young. He is singled and walked. Miami leads 3-2 at Cleveland after 8 in league play. Baltimore and Washington in a beltway battle. Tied 1-1, top of the 9th. Ian Desmond hit his 6th.
That series probably getting more attention than it's gotten in a long time. Baltimore's in first place in the AL East, and the Nationals have just slipped a half a game behind Atlanta in the NL East.
Toronto's pounding the Mets 14-1 after 7 in Toronto. Aaron Sevilla has hit 2 homers, so has Rajay Davis.
All off Jonathan Meese.
Pass Lowry into left center field, and it's 3-1. Here's another play at second. This throw is offline, and Young hustles a double himself. Back-to-back doubles.
Boy, neither one of them looked like they were going to be doubles. Great hustle by Michael Young as Beltre comes in with run number 3. Ground ball. Looked like Lowry was going to be able to at least get leather on it, knock it down, and stop the run from scoring. But this got a lot of topspin. Hits the mound and takes a big second hop over the glove beyond the reach of Lowry, and Michael Young just good hustle. Hearing that double out of the box.
Here it is.
Just going hard the whole way.
He's done that so many times in his career. 8 doubles this season for Michael Young. Nelson Cruz is next. He had the RBI single earlier. 0-1 to Cruz.
Andy Pettit outstanding tonight against the Reds. 8 shutout innings, struck out 9, allowed just 4 hits. Yankees beat the Reds 4-0.
2 balls, no strikes. Phillies lead Boston 5-4. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Philadelphia. Hunter Pence hit his 10th.
But that Toronto team could score a bunch of runs. What do you know? You hear they hit 4 home runs and none by Bautista or Encarnacion. It's a bit surprising. That gives you an idea how deep that lineup is.
It really does. Big cut there by Cruz. Takes it to a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
And we talk a lot about quality start, right? 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less. And it can be a little bit of a watered down statistic. But if you get 6 of 3 against this club, you've done a pretty good job.
Oh, you know it. Altuve comes in feeling the slow hopping ground ball, throwing out Cruz. 2 outs. Young to third. And Mike Napoli will follow. Napoli's 0 for 2. Very nice acquisition by this Ranger club. He is one of those in line to become a free agent at the end of the season. Napoli was traded to the Rangers prior to last season, and he wound up hitting 30 homers, driving in 75 runs, .320 batting average for 369 at bats. He had a .619 slugging percentage against lefties. Takes the curve for ball 1. So he should have a great sense of that rivalry between the Angels and the Rangers. And those two teams have combined to win 7 of the last 8 AL West titles. Greg Gentry's on deck. Strike makes it 1-1.
Of course, the big issue for the Rangers is Josh Hamilton also will be a free agent at the end of this year. Nolan Ryan talking today saying he does not expect anything to get done during the season.
Colby Lewis is another who could be a free agent. Big cut there. It's 1-2.
That doesn't mean that there wouldn't be some talks behind the scenes, but you don't want anything to go public, especially with a player of the stature of Hamilton. You know, there's so much buzz around him anyway, and you start talking contract and all that, could be a distraction.
Nine hits is the high allowed by Wandy in a start this season. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And of course, the Rangers here unable to use the designated hitter in the National League Park. Foul ball keeps the count at 2-2. The Rangers are 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight. The Astros will be making the return visit to Arlington June 15th through the 17th. That's a weekend series. Friday night game, a Saturday night game, and a Sunday afternoon encounter. On that trip, they'll start out playing the White Sox in Chicago and then go to San Francisco before finishing in Texas. And you know, the nice thing about the AL West division schedule next year will be that the Astros and Rangers are so close to each other, but it's a far-flung division with Seattle, Oakland, and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim included.
Reminiscent of the Astros back when they were in the NL West and had so many games against the Dodgers and the Padres and the Giants.
They sure will. It'll be quite different for the Astros players compared to the schedule they've had in the NL Central. The Rangers routinely arrive from a road trip to Seattle or Oakland or Anaheim at 4 in the morning or later and then play that next night. There's just a lot more traveling in that division. It's the only division that's separated across 2 time zones. Sure hasn't prevented them from having excellent teams, though. The players have coped with it very well for the Rangers.
Yeah, I don't know what their schedule looks like, but I remember when we were in the NL West, and of course there was only 2 divisions then. There was East and West, and we'd go out and typically would play all 3 of those clubs in one road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Go out for a 10-day trip, and you play 3 in LA, 3 in San Diego, 3 in San Francisco, maybe an off day sprinkled in there somewhere. That wasn't a big problem. It wasn't a problem at all. It actually was kind of nice to play out there to get out of the heat. Better to play in San Francisco in July than St. Louis.
Sure. Well, let's see. In early June, they'll go to Anaheim, they'll go to Oakland, and they'll go to San Francisco all on one trip. It's a good grouping. And then in July, they have a trip to Seattle, Oakland, and Anaheim.
Saw a story today. There's a working schedule that has the American League West playing the National League Central in interleague play next year. So we'll get to see some of our old friends.
Yeah. Struck him out. He tried to check, but Napoli struck out. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. And the Rangers lead it 3-1. Firm. Save money. Sleep happy. Downtown Houston being put to sleep a little bit later on as it's nightfall here, and it's Rangers 3, Astros 1. It's been a hot day outside in the 90s, so the roof is closed, and it will be throughout the weekend, no doubt. 3-1, 9 hits to 3. The Rangers putting a lot of traffic on base. They've left 7. They've had men on base in every inning. Jose Altuve was one of those on base for the Astros, and he scored after walking in the 3rd. There's strike 1 to him.
3rd time around now for the middle of the Astros order against Feliz.
It's more of a slurvy breaking ball there. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Bigger break to it than the one he's been throwing. So he shows a different wrinkle the 3rd time through. Fastball's consistently been upstairs. It's 2 balls and a strike. Now 3-1 to Altuve. He was 3-1 the first time up and grounded to short. Then he walked on a 3-1 count. Now another 3-1 coming. 3rd time through the order, much more effective against Neftali Feliz. And there's a leadoff walk. Same thing that happened in the 3rd. Altuve at that point stole 2nd and came around to score on the Lowry infield hit. One of only 3 singles allowed by Feliz. That's 4 walks for him tonight.
4 walks and a hit batter, though, so a lot of traffic for the Astros. He's showing signs of vulnerability just because he can't throw the ball consistently where he wants to. He's been missing. He hasn't made a lot of mistakes over the middle of the plate. He throws so hard he gets swings and misses, even with very hittable pitches in terms of location. But you figure sooner or later his luck's going to run out.
Strike to Martinez. He struck out looking in the 1st and swinging in the 3rd. Missing there. It's a 1-1 count for Feliz, shooting for win number 4 of the season. Rangers rotation is strong. Yu Darvish is 6-1 with a 2.60 ERA for his first 8 starts in Major League Baseball. We'll have the weekend off here. Foul back, and it's 1-2. Derek Holland at 3-2 with a 3.78 ERA. Will be going tomorrow night, and it'll be Colby Lewis Sunday. Lewis is 3-3. His ERA 3.63. And they're all piling up the innings, but Steps are being taken to skip them sometimes in the rotation. Up under the chin of Martinez. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Again, Feliz missing by a wide margin, trying to go down and away. He just flies open. Can't finish that pitch. Been doing it a bunch.
Gentry's over in right center for Martinez. Hamilton over toward the wall as it juts back toward the bullpen. Plenty of room down the left field line for JD. Pitch way outside. It's 3-2. The 11th 3-ball count for Feliz.
Again, now decision time for Brad Mills whether to turn Altuve loose here or not.
He's not going, and it's a strikeout. Number 6 for Feliz.
That's why he wasn't going. Maybe he's in such a funk. He's been swinging and missing a lot.
Carlos Lee is next. He's hit the ball twice to Gentry in center field.
A couple of Hall of Famers having birthdays today, Brownie.
Who?
The great Brooks Robinson.
How old is Brooks?
75. Reggie Jackson, 66.
Boy.
Mr. October.
Line drive right field by Carlos, and Cruz comes in to snatch it. Hard hit out number 2.
In general, you wouldn't teach an outfielder to catch the ball like that, but he got caught in between a little bit. That ball absolutely smoked by Carlos. Cruz got caught in between there, not sure whether to come and get it, play it on a hop, then realize, oh yeah, I can get this one.
It's well hit. Lowry's next. Lowry's 1 for 2. The RBI infield hit to shortstop. Robinson certainly one of the acrobatic third basemen of all time. He was just amazing at the hot corner with those plays that he made. Good home run hitter too. Ball 1. Steve Busby is in the Rangers radio booth, and he was talking about Brooks before the game today, and he actually began the discussion by talking about how good Beltre's been at third base. But I asked him who was the best of his day when he was pitching for Kansas City. He said it had to be Brooks. But he said, I didn't see much of Mike Schmidt in my career. Schmidt came later.
Schmidt was the better overall player, of course, because of his offensive skills. Robinson made so many highlight reel plays in the postseason, the World Series with the Orioles, and that really cemented his reputation as the best defender. Beltre, he was a very good athlete as a youngster. He was a good basketball player, good tennis player, and he actually saw a televised game. Saw Ken Caminiti playing third base for the Astros, and that kind of pushed him in the direction of baseball. He was watching Caminiti play third base.
Interesting. 98 pitches with 2 outs in the 5th inning for Feliz. There is bullpen action now. Foul back by Lowry.
Sometimes when a guy is as wild as Feliz is, it's tough because you can't zone in on him. You have no idea. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of comfort for the hitters when they stand in there, especially for the righties. He's had so many of those fastballs sail up and in on right-handed hitters.
Well, it might be Scott Feldman out there, but he's not beginning to throw yet. Players love playing for Ron Washington. Looks as if tonight Wash will be just trying to get 5 out of Feliz. Anything after that would be a bonus. He's thrown 50 balls and 50 strikes in his first 100 pitches.
Fitty. So far, he's been effectively wild. A couple big hits, and he'll just have been wild.
There's walk number 5. And Bogusevic is coming back. AT&T Uverse brings you this reverse replay. We look back at Brian Bogusevic in right field.
Bogey, he is a superior defender out there in right field. One of the better outfielders in the league. Ron Washington has gone to the pen.
Well, that's it. the century mark will do it for Feliz. He had a shot at qualifying for the win, but he comes out 1 out short.
Could have sensed that Wash was kind of punishing him a little bit.
Might have been. 3-1 Texas. Back in a moment.
Of baseball's best, and it all starts tomorrow night with the Astros taking on the Rangers. Baseball Night in America, presented by Chevrolet, begins tomorrow at 6, only on Fox.
Kenny Albert and Tom Verducci to work that game. Robbie Ross, the lone left-hander in the Rangers bullpen, a rookie, 23 years old, comes in to face Brian Bogusevic. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Rangers leading it 3-1. Bogusevic's 1 for 2. Ross delivers ball 1.
Our first look at Ross. Last year he was a Double-A pitcher in the Rangers system, was 1-1 with a 2.61 ERA. Actually pitched an A-ball as well. This year 4-0 with the big club, 2.55 ERA. Fastball, slider, change.
Bogey fouls it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bogusevic against lefties this season. A 217 hitter with 1 RBI. He's had 23 at-bats. Ross had 4 wins in his first 6 major league appearances. He could get a win tonight.
Got to be wary of those relievers that pile up big win numbers. A lot of times they're coughing up other guys' leads.
That's true. He became the first pitcher since 1918 to earn 4 relief wins in his first 6 career appearances in the big leagues. Bogusevic bounds out to the second sacker, Kinsler, who gets it over to Andrews. And it's no runs, no hits, and a couple of men left. And after 5, it's 3-1 Rangers.
The fans of the game. This is a bunch of kids from Klein Oak High School, and I've got their biology teacher here, Jonathan Seifert. Tell us about your group here.
We have 30 kids who gave up 7 Saturdays to prepare for the STAR EOC. We're called Starfish All-Stars, and so we brought out 30 kids to come out and celebrate and just have fun.
And what is now STAR is the new testing that replaced TAX? Is that what that is?
Yes, there's new testing in the state of Texas. They have to pass 4 tests this year: biology, chemistry, and they're going to have to pass tests all the way through high school in order to graduate. And they're the first class to have to do that. It's the most stringent testing in the state of Texas so far, and these kids did an awesome job last week.
Well, and they are full of energy. Boy, they have not stopped moving. I'm surprised you can even corral them to sit down and take a test that takes that long.
Well, as you can see, we have 30 kids, and it feels like we have 40, but they're awesome. They're great kids. They did a great job. They studied hard, and they really knew that material. So we're out here just celebrating and having a good time.
All right, well, great job, kids, and great job to all the teachers who teach these kids. For the teachers, you are our progressive fan of the game. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's give them an Oakham.
We sense a little loyalty of Petty to that school. And it's
I wonder what they were doing.
They were oaking him. Fly ball by Gentry to center field. Wandy gets out number 1 here in the 6th inning, and Gentry makes an out for the first time tonight. Wandy probably will leave for a pinch hitter. He's 2 up 3rd in the bottom of the 6th, trying to give his club 1 more inning before that happens, and he'll face the pitcher Ross next. Ross got out of that trouble spot by getting Bogusevic to ground into a force play. He's now inherited 15 runners this year, allowing only 1 to score.
Hey, pretty good swing.
Got to be his first at bat. First interleague game for the Rangers. He's a rookie. And as you told us, he was starting in the minor leagues last year. He was a Carolina League Pitcher of the Year, won the ERA crown at Myrtle Beach with a 2.26 earned run average. But it's strikeout number 4 for Wandy. Starting pitchers for tomorrow, presented by Chevron, and it's on Channel 26 in Houston, Fox, with Kenny Albert doing the play-by-play. Tom Verducci will be his partner. 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Lefty Derek Holland and right-hander Lucas Harrell. Now with 2 outs, it's Ian Kinsler batting against Wandy. Kinsler has been on twice, a double and a single in 3 trips. the only non-interleague game tonight. St. Louis is at Los Angeles with Ted Lilly going for the Dodgers.
Obviously, managers in the American League, when they change pitchers, they just have to make a pitching change based on the man on the mound and his chances of getting opposing hitters out. National League managers, they have to deal with when their guy's coming up. Do they double switch? Things of that nature. Ron Washington having his pitcher bat here after bringing him in the last inning. A lot of times you'll see a manager leave his starter out there, try to get him through that inning if he's due to bat in the following inning. Wash had seen enough of Feliz. Apparently likes his defensive club on the field. Didn't want to double switch. Change the makeup of his team in the field. Sets up what should be an easy inning for Wandy. Except for the fact that this guy wears him out.
Sure does. 2-1 to Kinsler. The numbers for Feliz tonight were 4 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Luke over first base and foul. About 2 feet.
That was going to be foul either way. It was either a foul ball or just foul in general.
Kinsler wasn't running. He knew. Kinsler, very good defensive player, as well as one of the top offensive second basemen in the majors. He rips this one foul left field side. He's just bracketing the foul lines in this at bat. Ian was a 17th round pick in 03 by the Rangers. From Tucson, he went to Arizona State and Missouri. He hit 3 homers against the Astros last year. Fouls this one back right above us.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Ranger lineup and I'm thinking of Ron Washington. Had he contemplated a double switch last inning, who's he going to take out? Because Napoli had made the last out in the 5th. You're not taking him out. You don't want to Cruz, Young,
no.
Beltre, Hamilton. There's nobody in that lineup that you're going to double switch out of the game.
Yeah, he'd have a fight on his hands if he took any of those guys out. They're all good hitters. Foul back. Now the Rangers are outscoring their opponents at a pace to give them 320 runs more than their opponents for the year. That's better than the 98 Yankees and the 75 Cincinnati Reds. They're just obliterating teams, and they can wreck a bullpen in a 3-game series.
2 great teams, the Big Red Machine and then the 98 Yankee Club.
Now 3-2. Feliz threw 101 pitches, 50 strikes. Fell 1 out short of qualifying for the win. That's a line shot into left center. Schaefer hustling over to try to hold him to a single. Kinsler wants a double. Here's the throw to Altuve. The ball's waiting and he is out.
Nothing nonchalant about that play.
3rd knock of the night for Kinsler, but Schaefer picks up the outfield assist, guns him down at second. No runs, a hit. Strong Schaefer throw, and still 3-1 Rangers. Robbie Ross could perhaps be the winning pitcher in this game. That would be up to the official scorer. If the Rangers maintain this lead, and the game's never tied and they never fall behind, then it's up to the official scorer to determine which relief pitcher is awarded the win. First pitch is ball 1.
Not going to matter because the Astros are going to jump them right here.
That would make it a moot point. You're right. Here's Johnson, takes a strike. He's been hit by a pitch and he's grounded out. As of now, Ross is the pitcher of record. He came in with a 2-run lead, 2 men on base, got an out. And it's off the foot of CJ for a 1-ball, 2-strike count. It's Atlanta 5, Tampa Bay 3 after 8 in St. Petersburg. Martin Prado hit his 3rd home run for the Braves. Tommy Hansen started for them, gave up 2 runs in 7 innings. Bullpen action there. Fernando Rodriguez for the Astros. James Shields was the starter for the Rays tonight.
Marvin Hudson gets whacked pretty good with that foul tip.
Boy, he sure was. Into the right shoulder. Napoli's buying him a little time. Robbie Ross, quite a story that he would make that big leap. You talked about him at Double-A briefly at Corpus Christi, but most of the season in the Carolina League, and made a quantum leap to the big league club.
Went from the Myrtle Beach Pelicans to the Texas Rangers in the season. 10-5 at Myrtle Beach last year with a .234 earned run average.
He's from Nicholasville, Kentucky. His father Chuck was a second-round pick by Milwaukee in '75. Bouncer through the right side. Chris Johnson picked a good spot to hit it for a single.
Michael Young immediately breaking to the bag, not realizing that Kinsler was playing the pull, was well shaded towards second base. So Young maybe quit on that ball a little bit prematurely. See how far over Kinsler is, and Michael, his first step is right to the bag. He probably wouldn't have been able to flag that one down anyway, but of the two, he had the best shot at it.
Jason Castro comes up. He's walked and flied to left. Robbie Ross was a second-round pick of the Rangers in '08. Hard thrower, and there's ball one. They moved him right along through the system last year. Matt Downs on deck as it's fouled back.
Fox Tracks presented by Nissan. Now choose Nissan.com.
Matt will be hitting, it would appear, for Wandy Rodriguez, with Fernando Rodriguez warming up. The Astros have been out hit 9-4. And they have 4 singles. It's tough to play with the Rangers with only singles, but their pitching staff with that 3.21 ERA can make it difficult on an offense. The Rangers, on the other hand, have homered in 11 straight games. That's the longest streak this season in the majors. Castro looks at a strike. 2-2 to Jason.
Might have been up, might have been in. Marvin Hudson thought it was good enough, but Castro again working another deep count. Drew a walk in the second. He sees a lot of pitches. Our Fox track is confirming Marvin Hudson's call. What are we going to do here? A fastball away.
Castro fouls it away. Jason was saying tonight he does not regard last year as a wasted year. He was out all season with knee surgery from a spring training injury, but he said at Stanford he didn't really call the game. Typically in college the coach calls the pitches,
which is horrible, by the way.
Okay.
Just want to chime in with that little editorial.
You're allowed. You have a forum.
Kids got to learn. You got to let them call the game.
Well, last year he thought he really learned a lot about preparing to call a game.
That's one of the challenges in professional baseball now. A lot of times the catchers come into it having, in their high school careers, they don't get to call pitches. Their college careers, they don't call pitches. They have to be taught that aspect of the game.
He said Brad Arnsberg really taught him how to prepare, how to study video, break it down, get the game plan ready. And he's carried that forward into this season. And he said, because I didn't have to play last year, I had more time to work with that and probably learned a good deal more about how to get ready for a game than I would have had I been playing the games.
Certainly in breaking down the video, there's a certain instinctive part of it, though, you get from catching, seeing the way hitters react to certain pitches and the way they set up in the batter's box.
There's the toss. Andrews to Kinsler, and the strong arm of Kinsler turns it into a 6-4-3 double play. Well, that was slick. Andrews came after it.
Now Matt Downs is going to be called back, save for perhaps another opportunity, and Justin Maxwell is going to come up and hit.
Maxwell will be relied on to be a rally starter here with 2 outs, nobody on. Coming up at 229 with 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. He's had 48 at bats, and as a pinch hitter, he's 3 for 14, including a homer and 3 runs batted in. So for Wandy, that's the night. He was able to post the 0 in the 6th inning. and make it 6 innings of 9-hit, 3-run baseball tonight. Walking 2 and fanning 4.
As I mentioned earlier, not all quality starts are the same, and it's a pretty good effort against this club.
Make it 10 hits allowed by Wanda. Yes, it was. So 10 hits allowed by Wandy. And a quality start. To his right, it's Andrews. And he makes it out number 3. After 6, 3-1 Rangers. New Hyundai owners are talking about their cars in the booth. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Brake Check, we do it right for less. 3-1 ball game. And now the Astros have made a pitching change. The Rangers have 10 hits and 3 runs. The Astros have been held to 4 singles and 1 run. Fernando Rodriguez becomes the second Rodriguez to pitch for the Astros tonight. He comes in for the 7th.
Well, no chance for a 3-rod night because Nuri's down there in the minor league. But we got 2. Fernando works for the 16th time. He's 1-4, 4.05 ERA. Not work in the Milwaukee series. Pitched twice on the recent road trip. Suffered a loss in Pittsburgh. And then in Philly worked a third of an inning scoreless. Walked a man. Fly ball pitcher. Good 4-seam fastball and overhand curveball. He's got to deal with the 2, 3, 4 hitters here in the Rangers 7th.
Andrews, Hamilton, and Beltre due up. The Rangers just keep pressing the attack. They have hits in all 6 innings tonight. 10 hits and 7 men left on base. And Kinsler was thrown out at second to end the 6th inning for them. Andrews singled in the first. He's 1 for 3. Corner infielders pinch in, and he fouls it back for strike 1. Fernando last pitched Tuesday, 1/3 of an inning. And he came in with the same 3-1 score with the Astros trailing. That was in the 7th inning. The Astros wound up forcing extra frames, and they lost it 4-3 in the 10th. He's been in all 5 extra inning games the Astros have played. It's no balls, 2 strikes. We'll be back on the air Sunday tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on Channel 26. Fox in Houston. It'll be Lucas Harrell and Derek Holland. And Sunday, Jordan Lyles and Colby Lewis for us at 12:30 for Astros Live right here.
See that nod of the head from Jason Castro telling Fernando, hey, be careful now with that 0-2 fastball. Don't catch too much of the plate.
Extra innings in Washington. Baltimore 2, Washington 1. Bottom of the 11th inning now. Nick Markakis hit his 7th home run for the Orioles. Fouled away. Still 0-2 to Andrews. Bronson Arroyo was the loser with Andy Pettitte shutting out Cincinnati 4-0. Yankees winning at home. Robinson Cano hit his 4th. Raul Ibanez number 8 for the Pinstripers. They're now 21-18. The Reds fall back to 500, 19-19. Swing and a miss. Andrews down on strikes.
Andrews had a couple pitches to swing at after falling behind 0-2. He fouled a fastball off and then a curveball that stayed in the zone, and then Fernando made a good 0-2 pitch up the ladder with the 4-seamer. Astros wrap up this Lone Star Series on Sunday with the Rangers. 105 game. Family Sundays presented by Minute Maid and Kroger, featuring a free family fun zone before the game. Kids run the bases after the game. Tickets at Astros.com.
Josh Hamilton, the 2010 American League Most Valuable Player, is 1 for 3 tonight. There's strike 1 to Hamilton.
I know he swung at the first pitch at least 3 times tonight. That's his MO. He usually attacks very early. First couple of pitches he's hacking. Cameras at the ready. Good changeup.
Yes, it was. We don't see many of those from Fernando, do we?
That's a good weapon against lefties.
Hamilton's down in the count 0-2. And the fastball makes it 1 ball 2 strikes with Beltre waiting next.
Now with Andrews, I was kind of questioning the location of a couple of those 0-2 pitches, but with Hamilton, I have no problem. If you could give up an 0-2 hit to him, I don't have a problem. I think he's the type of hitter you want to attack when you get ahead of him. If you nibble, get him back into the count, you're asking for trouble.
Strike 3 call. 2 outs, 2 strikeouts for Fernando.
Can't make a better pitch than that. Efrod bringing it. Dotting that outside corner.
He did. Now with 2 outs, it's Beltre. He delivered a sac fly in the 3rd inning. They made a 1-0 Texas, and then a double in the 5th. He scored a run to make it 3-0. And that's ball 1. Make it 3-1 at the time. The Astros got their run in the 3rd on the infield hit by Lowry. Something cold for the patrons there.
Ooh, brain freeze.
Yeah. Foul straight back. It's 1-1.
Well, you asked about Fernando. According to Fangraphs, he throws his changeup 8% of the time.
Okay. He sure broke it out at a great time. Breaking pitch goes for ball 2, and it's a 2-ball 1 strike count. That's laced. That's on a merry ride. No doubter by Beltre. That's number 8 of the season for him, giving him 25 runs batted in. He got all of that one. 4-1 Rangers.
The first 2 hitters, Fernando got the jump on, was working ahead in the count. Here it's a 2-1 fastball to Beltre, and as that one to Hamilton was perfectly placed. This one right down the channel.
That's 12 straight games in which the Rangers have homered, longest streak in the majors this year. And Michael Young, who has a pair of hits and a walk, RBI.
This one off that facade out there. This wasn't going to stop anytime soon. Didn't hit that wall. Had a little more carry. A little ways to go yet.
Left a dent in that limestone. There's a good play. Lowry to his left, spins and gets out number 3. Beltre goes deep. The Rangers' 59th long ball of the year, and they lead it by 3 now, 4-1.
One of the most thrilling semifinal matches in history. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive live coverage of the UEFA Champions League final as Bayern Munich becomes the first team since 1984 to play the final in their home stadium as they take on Drogba and Chelsea, with both teams looking to complete their improbable championship run. UEFA Champions League final is live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central, only on Fox. Bill.
Thanks, Patty. There's a foul bunt by Schaefer. 4-1. The Rangers lead it. They've out hit the Astros 11-4. No errors tonight. Mike Napoli catching Robbie Ross in relief of Neftali Feliz. Schaefer singled to left in the 1st inning. He's 1 for 3. Altuve and Martinez to follow. Corner infielders pitching in for the Rangers. And a swing there takes it to 0-2 for Schaefer. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away, but not very far. Napoli makes the short throw to Michael Young to complete the strikeout. Number 7 of the night for Ranger pitchers. Altuve's next. Well, Ross is in a prime position to be a winner for the 5th time this year. taking over after Feliz worked 4 2/3. He's worked 1 2/3, giving up 1 hit, no runs. Altuve has been on twice with walks after grounding out. This Ranger bullpen very effective with 5 wins, 5 losses, 10 saves in 14 attempts this year, and a 2.21 bullpen ERA.
Joe Nathan has returned to top form, now the closer for the Rangers after those many years in Minnesota and San Francisco. He's got 8 saves and a 2.70 ERA.
Ross, the only lefty in the bullpen. Alexi Ogando is strong, setting up Nathan, Mike Adams, Mark Lowe, Koji Uehara. So we have a good group again this season. 4 balls, 2 strikes. Carlos Lee, Brad Mills talking it over. The Astros trying to get something going with 1 run on 4 hits. It's 1 2.
Well, the way Ross is going, they just might let him pitch.
They might.
Nathan's worked 3 of the last 4 games.
Out the shortstop, Andrews. 2 outs. And J.D. Martinez is 0 for 3 with 3 punch-outs tonight. Altuve's been on base twice with walks. The Astros trying to scratch out something here in the late innings. Carlos Lee's on deck. Ross misses, and it's ball 1 to him. Minnesota 6, Milwaukee 3 there in the bottom of the 6th at Miller Park. In the air, and Kinsler comes over. Michael Young gets out of his way. It goes quickly in the 7th inning for Ross. He's pitched 2 1/3 scoreless now, and the Rangers are in front 4-1. Astros with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Astros out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. 4-1 ball game. The Rangers scored twice in the 3rd inning to take the lead. The Astros got a run in the bottom half, and the Rangers now have maintained that lead and added to it with the 7th inning homer by Beltre. Here in the 8th, it's Cruz, Napoli, and Gentry due up against Fernando Rodriguez. Cruz singled in a run in the 3rd. That one made it 2-0 Texas. He's 1 for 3. There's strike 1. 34,715 in attendance tonight. It's Arizona 4, Kansas City 4. They played 7 in Kansas City. Billy Butler with his 7th home run. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The Yankee win 4-0 over Cincinnati. Andy Pettitte went to 1-1. He has a low ERA of 2.51. 1-2. Koji Uehara warming up the bullpen. And a big cut by Cruz.
Fastball, a little cutting action, and Cruz pulling off of it.
Rainer Cruz warming up for Houston. That one almost hit him, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looking down at his leg there and looking at Marvin Hudson. Rainer Cruz and Fernando Abad working for the Astros. Lee, Lowry, and Bogusevic are due to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. Robbie Ross has thrown 28 pitches in relief for Ron Washington. In the air to right field, Bogusevic. 1 out.
If you weren't with us earlier, Justin Verlander flirting with a no-hitter tonight. Had a no-hitter with 1 out in the 9th. And against Pirates, Harrison broke it up. He finishes with a 1-hitter. 6-0 Tiger win over the Pirates. Still trying to get into that perfect club.
Yeah. Mike Napoli is 0 for 3. Now back, strike one. Carlos Zambrano's having quite a month of May. Coming into tonight, he was 1-0 with a 0.39 ERA in 3 starts in May, and he won 3-2 at Cleveland for Miami. Heath Bell got save number 4. Zambrano going to 2-2 this season. He gave up 2 earned runs in 7 innings tonight.
Big Z is back.
Yes, he is. He just looked so much more in control, not only of his pitches, but himself when he pitched against the Astros. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Probably came to the realization that it's not on everybody else, it's on him.
Right. Foul to make it 1-2. Tony Sipp lost that game for Cleveland. Verlander with Detroit shutting out Pittsburgh on the 1-hitter. 6-0, goes to 5-1 with a 2.14 ERA. Beats Charlie Morton.
Harrison broke it up.
Is he playing short for Barmas still, do you know?
I do not know.
He did either last night or the night before. Barmas still struggling to get out of the gate.
Now Barmas played tonight.
Okay.
Harrison was the DH.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go. See, if that was played in Pittsburgh, he probably would have gotten his no-hitter.
That's true. Struck him out. That's 3 strikeouts for Fernando. Greg Gentry follows. Ricky Romero and Toronto obliterated the Mets 14-5. Romero 5-1 now, beating Jonathan Neese, who's 2-2.
What, I'm bullish on that Blue Jay club.
Oh yeah. Watch out for that team.
They're only 3 games above 500, but keep an eye on them.
They're in it.
A lot of firepower. Pitching's been okay.
Yeah. Well, Drabek's really starting to break through this year.
Got some good arms. Romero is a proven guy. Morrow's got all kinds of ability. Drabek has outstanding stuff. Just needs to kind of settle in, figure it out.
Greg Gentry was born in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Went to the University of Arkansas. Goes fishing there, and it's 0-2.
He goes fishing in Fort Smith, Arkansas?
Probably does. He went fishing for that pitch, though. Let's hope he has better success in Fort Smith than he did with that swing. But Fernando can make guys look pretty bad with that overhand curve.
The first 2 right-handed hitters, Cruz and Napoli, to me, they look like they were trying to jerk the ball into the Crawford boxes. They were pulling off balls.
I wonder if the Rangers get into that when they come into this ballpark for 3 days. Mitch Moreland's on deck. Could be pinch hitting for Ross next. 2-2. They're such good hitters, though.
Well, it's so tempting, though. If you're a right-handed hitter and you can pull the ball, you see those Crawford boxes out there.
Yep. You've got 3 games here all year. Just natural for a guy to want to take a shot there if he's got that kind of power and can hook a ball. Tap foul. Well, they're hitting .290 as a team, so they obviously use all fields.
Yeah, but they're only hitting .214 as a team when you take Hamilton out of the equation. I just made that up. Don't do the math. I'm just trying to make a point about how good he's been.
Yeah. Got people scurrying for their calculators.
That can't be true.
Oh, no, wait. Fastball knocks off the mask of Castro. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oakland and San Francisco playing that battle of the Bay Area teams. 0-0 in the second.
The Battle of the Great Northern Pike. It's the Twins 6, the Brewers 3. It's in Milwaukee.
Rangers are out hitting their opponents by 56 points. 290 to 234. Struck him out. That's number 4 for Fernando. He gets a side in order here in the 8th inning, but the Rangers lead it 4-1. Leading it now 4-1. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. You see the Rangers banging away tonight, JD.
Yeah, well, Kinsler came into this game with great success against Wandy Rodriguez, so no surprise to see him swing the bat well. Great play by Jordan Schaefer, though, to nail him at second base. After the Rangers earlier had taken liberties, stretched a couple of singles into doubles, and this time Schaefer says, no soup for you.
Fernando Rodriguez listening to Brad Mills. Fernando's pitched a couple of innings. Robbie Ross has been taken out of the game for Koji Uehara. Ross in 2 1/3 innings, allowing 1 hit, no runs, with no walks and 1 strikeout. He could be the winning pitcher. And Uehara, with no decisions, at 1.35 ERA, comes in the 8th.
Now look at those numbers. 149 batting average against, 15 strikeouts against just 1 walk. He's not an overpowering guy. Doesn't throw really hard, but he gets lots of swings and misses. Has a real good split finger pitch.
There's strike 1 to Carlos Lee.
Go fastball, cutter, change up, splitter.
Uehara, like Yu Darvish, born in Japan. It's a swing and a miss there to take it to 0-2. Koji's 36 years old. Last year, Texas got him in a trade from Baltimore for Chris Davis and Tommy Hunter in July. Inside, 1-2. And last year, he struck out 85 in 65 innings while walking 9. That is just nuts.
Wow. For his career, better than a strikeout per inning pitched.
Baltimore had signed him as a free agent after he finished pitching in Japan. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He has a 9 1/3 inning scoreless streak as he comes in tonight, bouncing that one. 3-2. He hasn't given up a run since he gave up a solo homer in back-to-back games at Boston and at Detroit, the second one being 21st of April.
He is a fly ball pitcher. He gets more outs in the air than he does on the ground. Last year he allowed 11 home runs in 65 innings. So if there's a weakness, it's that.
Pop up. Beltre over. Andrews there. Beltre's windmilling. Get out of his way.
I told you once. I told you 100 times. I've got it. Get out of here.
One down, and it's Lowry batting next. They had some fun. Lowry with the RBI single on the infield hit to shortstop in the 3rd has accounted for the only Houston RBI in this game. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Jed taps it to first. Michael Young, 2 outs. The Astros have been held to 4 singles tonight, and they had been in an offensive slump. And the last couple nights they looked much better. Wednesday night scoring 8 runs on 8 hits. Last night banged out 13 hits, were held to 4 runs, but won at 4-0. Tonight once again a struggle. Bogusevic comes up. He's 1 for 3. Uehara had a club record 28 game streak without a walk, 24 2/3 innings. And that was not the longest of his career. It was the 2nd longest. Inside for ball 1 to Bogey. Chris Johnson's on deck. Baltimore with that 11th inning run edged Washington 2-1 at Washington. Ooh. 82 miles per hour, and that floated up there. 1 ball, 1 strike. He follows that one with some high heat, and it's 1-2. Only 7 miles per hour difference between those pitches, but it looked like more. That one's punched out of play. That one in on his hands.
Some guys, they throw that 4-seam fastball and they get a lot of backspin on the ball. It's good carry. I mean, so it's not lighting up the radar gun, but it's got good life.
Checking the photographs there.
That is one fancy glove. Check that out.
Yeah, it is.
I want one of those.
Okay.
How do I get one of those?
Well, we'll ask Koji.
Who do you got to know?
Somebody with the manufacturer, probably. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You have any friends with the glove companies?
No.
That is fancy.
Yeah, really something.
Struck him out. He has a 1-2-3 8th inning. We move to the 9th. The Rangers lead the Astros 4-1. Kerry Wood of the Chicago Cubs, 445 games, 63 saves, 86 wins. One of the most powerful, best games ever pitched against the Astros in '98 when he struck out 20. And he finishes his career with a strikeout against the White Sox today.
Still healthy. He was throwing 95 miles an hour in that at bat, but he's really struggled with his command this year. Was not having a lot of success. Decided to hang up. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I've seen this before, where a player announces, the next time after my next appearance, I'm done. And so he got that one more shot. Jamie Quirk was managing because Dale Swaim had been ejected. They love Kerry Wood there in Chicago, and it's unfortunate because he's going to be a guy who will always be known more for what could have been than for what really was. He had a nice career, but he was, expected to be the next in that line of Ryan Clemens, and then it was Kerry Wood. And, injuries held him back, and again, he had a nice career, but not what could have been.
Fernando Rodriguez came out and took the mound, but then Brad Mills has now made a move to pull him out of this game. So there's Fernando, and the 9th inning will belong to another Fernando. Fernando Abad comes in. Rangers 4, Astros 1. Back in a moment. Some managing here with Brad Mills bringing out Fernando Rodriguez to start the 8th inning. Mitch Moreland was on deck, was announced as the pinch hitter. So at that point, he brought in the lefty Fernando Abad, who has no decisions, a 4.70 ERA, to give him a lefty on lefty matchup here to open the 9th inning.
The ERA has been coming down for Fernando. 4 consecutive scoreless appearances now.
First pitch to Moreland is strike 1. Moreland hit 2 homers yesterday in the Rangers' loss. And he's hit 188 against lefties, so you see the reason that Brad Mills wanted that matchup. Moreland, though, with a 283 average, 6 homers, 15 runs batted in. Has good numbers overall, 522 slugging percentage for the year, 0 for 7 pinch hitting. 1 ball, 1 strike. Abad finished the 4-0 win for the Astros last night with 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, no runs. And he seemed to be working quicker last night.
Last couple times he's gone out there, I thought his tempo was improved. It's more aggressive.
Fernando Rodriguez in 2 innings allowed 1 hit, 1 run with no walks, struck out 4.
Good stuff from Fernando tonight. Just would love to have that 1 fastball back to Beltre.
Ground ball lead. Abad covering. 1 out. Uehara leaving for the pinch hitter. Went 1 inning, allowing no hits, no runs. Had no walks, 1 strikeout. It would be a save situation as of now for the Rangers, and that's going to be the only man Abad will face. Brad Mills out again with right-handed hitting Kinsler, and Andrews coming up next.
Millsy not giving up the ship, managing hard.
Abad leaves, and Reiner Cruz is coming in with a score 4-1 Texas. Back in a moment.
Fox will be in Charlotte as defending champion Kevin Harvick and points leader Greg Biffle lead the world's best drivers in a chase for the checkered flag. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of Spring Cup Series racing with the Coca-Cola 600 live from the Charlotte Motor Speedway Sunday, May 27th in prime time at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Reiner Cruz in the game, 4-1 Rangers. Ian Kinsler, the batter. He's 3 for 4, a double and 2 singles for Kinsler. There's strike one.
Since Kinsler had off Wandy tonight, and Brad didn't want to give him another at bat off of a left-handed pitcher.
Cruz last pitched on Wednesday night in the 8-3 win over Milwaukee. He had 1 inning of work. He had 1, 2, 3, 8th inning. Then he walked the first 2 in the 9th and came out. And those runners later scored and were charged to him.
Had that clean inning. He looked very good, and then he couldn't find the strike zone.
1-0 with a 3.18 ERA for 10 major league appearances. Whoa!
That's scary. And he threw a couple of those in that game against Milwaukee the other day. It's not intentional, but at some point, other club is going to take umbrage. You're coming up around the coconut of opposing hitters, whether it's intentional or not. That's going to get everybody's attention in that other dugout.
Got Jim and Francie Crane's attention right behind home plate. Oh, slider off the edge. 2-2. Hard to hang in there. Jim and Francie watching from those seats right behind home plate. Elvis Andrus is on deck. It's hard for a right-handed batter to stand his ground against that pitch. And he's subconsciously dropping down in his delivery, and the ball's exploding up and in.
This time it's a breaking ball, so it looks worse than it was. Fans are a little worked up. These are not comfortable at bats.
Not at all. Hit in the air near the left field line toward the corner. It's J.D. Martinez on the run, and there with the running catch right in front of the big wall. 2 outs.
Kinsler shows you a little something right there, though.
He did.
That swing after that one fastball and then the breaking ball up around his head. Ends up putting a pretty good swing on this fastball from Reiner.
Elvis Andrus is 1 for 4. Got to hit the center field in the first inning off Wandy Rodriguez. That's strike one.
And again, the manager has to consider not just tonight's game, but going forward. So if the Rangers don't score, Joe Nathan's coming into this game. It will be the 3rd consecutive game in which he's worked. So he may not be available for tomorrow's game. It'll be the 3rd time in a row and 4th out of the last 5.
There was some question about whether Nathan would be used tonight. Strike makes it 1-2. And Nathan has pitched the last 3 games. Pitched the final game of the Kansas City series, both games of the Oakland series. So Mike Maddox probably had a chat with him beforehand, asked him if it was okay to go. Nathan said, yeah, let's do it. And skips by Andrus, and he's hit by the pitch. It grazed him. Andrus to first base, and now Josh Hamilton bats.
Flipped him into Jersey, and now Doug Brocail out to try to get him headed in the right direction. It's kind of like Feliz out there.
Yep.
Just throwing fastballs and not really having any clue where they're going. Maybe if Reiner straightened his hat, he would straighten out his fastball.
Maybe.
So he's kind of got the crooked hat thing working.
Yeah.
Like a lefty. He's not left-handed, though. He's got a left-handed hat and a right-handed fastball.
True. Well, last year at Binghamton in the Mets farm system, he walked 39 in 58 innings. Now Hamilton, the infield will shift around, playing him to pull. He's single to center in the third. He's 1 for 4. Getting 394 now. That's strike one to him.
Changeup.
$11 hits for the Rangers, 4 for the Astros. Runner takes off. No throw. And he steals it. Andrus gets his 8th of the year. Pitch was a ball. It's 1-1. Beltre's on deck. Hamilton puts on a show in batting practice. He just hit some massive shots. 1-2. Last year he went off a big scoreboard in BP.
Yeah, he I don't know, maybe Giancarlo Stanton. Those would be the two guys probably put on the most impressive BP show.
Mm-hmm. Fouls it back. Still 1-2 to Josh. And you talked earlier about the yeah, there was that big scoreboard. He dented that last year. It's a long, long way. Good grief. We've never seen anything close to that in a game here. This is BP, but still impressive to show that kind of power. Two balls, 2 strikes.
We've seen him up in Arlington go real big.
Yes. And, you know, he was on that stretch when he was hitting all the home runs about a week or 10 days ago. A lot of those homers were going to the big part of the ballpark. Center, left center, yeah. Fastball struck him out to end the top of the 9th with no runs, no hits, and a man stranded. Bottom of the 9th coming. Rangers 4, Astros 1. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. 4-1, the Rangers lead the Astros. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and closer Joe Nathan comes in. He'll be working for the 4th consecutive day. It's the first time he's worked 3 days in a row. That happened yesterday this season, and last year he made 3 consecutive appearances, only once for Minnesota in July.
Nathan 8 out of 9 in save opportunities. This is a save opportunity for him. Look at the strikeout to walk numbers there. 20 punch outs, just 2 walks and a .258 batting average against. Fastball, slider, curveball for Nathan. Gets a lot of swings and misses. Velocity averaging about 94 miles an hour.
Chris Johnson first up. He's been hit by a pitch and he has singled in 3 trips. Fouling that one for strike one. Uehara in 1 inning allowed no hits, no runs, had a strikeout. CJ trying to start something. The Astros haven't had a hit since the 6th when he led off that frame with a single. They've had 4 singles tonight. Each club has left 8 men on base. It's a 1-1 count. Nathan, with no rest this year, is 0-2, 2 saves, an ERA of 6, giving up 4 earned runs in 6 innings.
Born here in Houston, but, moved away, just a little guy, and pitched collegiately at that baseball powerhouse, State University of New York, Stony Brook.
Oh. Slider gets him a strike, 1-2. Stony Brook.
So the good news is, in all likelihood, he will not be available tomorrow. So that's what, again, talking about Brad Mills, trying to keep that game close, even though if you don't come back and win it. If you think the other manager is going to use his closer, you do whatever you can to keep it close, get that closer into the game. So it's a good news, bad news thing, because he's hard to beat, but I just can't imagine that they'd use him 5 days in a row. He missed the entire 2010 season with elbow surgery.
Now 3-2.
When
he was a free agent after compiling an ERA with the Twins of 4.84 and being on the DL with right elbow problems. He started getting interest from several teams, but he put everybody else in the back burner, he said, to see if something could be worked out with the Rangers because of the team that they've had the last couple of years. And then he signed a 2-year deal.
And this is a move just about every manager would make. But again, it speaks to kind of the absurdity, and that's too strong of a word, but managing to the save rule here. It's a 3-run lead. He's worked 3 days in a row, bottom of the order up. It seems to me they probably have other guys that could finish this game off and save Nathan for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a 1-run game tomorrow and you don't have it, and managers will tell you, I don't worry about tomorrow. I play for today.
Right.
You know, if the rule didn't exist, if this wasn't a save, would he be in the game? And my guess is no.
No.
So you're managing, and again, I'm not getting after Ron Washington here. Every manager does it.
Yeah.
Kind of driven by the rule, the save rule.
There is no doubt.
Yeah, if I don't get my guy this save, you know, it's going to be mad at me.
Feldman's warming up now. Foul back. Nathan has pitched 5 times in his career in this ballpark, and he has been shelled, allowing 11 earned runs in 17 1/3 innings with an 8.03 ERA here. But it's been a while since he's pitched here. His career save conversion rate is very high, 95.3, and pitching without a day of rest. That's the best among active relievers with at least 50 save chances. Second all time behind Eric Gagne. 3-2 to CJ with Castro on deck. And then we'll see a pinch hitter for Reiner Cruz. Punched up the right field line. Cruz coming over, and on the run he reaches down and snags it. One out as Nelson gets there.
Pretty good AB there by CJ, and put a decent swing on that 3-2 slider from Nathan. Looked like he had a shot at extra bases. Cruz was actually cheating that way toward the line.
Ran into the wall.
Kind of loping over there and finally putting it away. Bit of an adventure out there, Mr. Cruz.
Yeah. Nathan had to throw 10 pitches to get Johnson. Now it's Castro 0 for 2 with a walk. Well, it was Cruz in right field in Game 6 of the World Series. That triple went over his head. He was too shallow, and that essentially cost the Rangers the World Series last year. There's a strike to Castro. You could blame it on Cruz. You could blame it on the coaches for not positioning him deeper.
And he didn't get a very good break either.
No. And that opened the gates. He's a good outfielder, though, when he really runs hard. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I asked Eric Nadel, the voice of the Rangers, who's going into their Club Hall of Fame this year, what was made out of that, because there was a very good piece on the Major League Baseball Network about how Cruz took 13 steps from where he was positioned to get back to the wall on that triple, and how much was made of it. He said, well, you know, they talked about the fact that he could have been positioned deeper, but he said, I talked to Cruz and he said he had cheated in a couple steps just because he thought the ball was not going to be hit that deep. So he kind of repositioned himself there. Now the outfield coach is Gary Pettis. So, you know, if a player cheats in like that and the guys on the bench, the coaches can see that he's not where they want him, they can always reposition him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the dirt.
If they get back to the World Series, they will probably keep a keen eye on their outfielders in every single pitch. Unlikely that they won't look up and go, hey, what's Cruz doing so shallow? How'd that happen?
Oh, there's so many details in a baseball game. Isn't it something, though?
Heart broke for those guys.
Oh,
within a pitch of the World Series twice.
Yes.
Talked to Lance Brookman about it this winter. He felt bad for them, and he's the guy that won.
Slicing fly ball near the left field line. Hamilton has it, 2 outs. And now down to the final out. It's Travis Buck coming up for the Astros, pinch hitting for Reiner Cruz. Travis, of course, has seen a lot of this Ranger club as a member of Oakland. Is Hamilton over? Foul ball on that one. He hopes to be a left-handed thrower on a ball like that. So Castro's retired, and now it's Travis Buck, who's been a sensational pinch hitter. 6 for 10, 1 RBI. Overall, he's hit .250. He's driven in 5 and 56 at bats. Nathan delivers ball 1. Well, with Feliz moving from the closer spot to the rotation, the Rangers obviously needed somebody to close out games, and they took this 37-year-old right-hander, gave him a 2-year deal for $14.5 million.
Good low-risk sign. Had that power arm to the bullpen. They also have Mike Adams out there. He's awfully good.
Alexi Ogando, very good. Buck shoots that one foul, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 10 straight Astros have been retired by the Rangers' excellent bullpen with a 2.21 ERA. Bullpen took a loss for them yesterday. That was their first loss since May 1st. Buck looks at ball 2. It's 2-2. The Rangers trying to win for a 25-15 start in their first 40 games of the season. They began the night 4 games in front of Oakland. That's strike 3, and the Rangers have captured game 1 of this 3-game series. They do it with a whale of a job by their relief corps. Ross, Uehara, and Nathan finishing this game. For the last 4 1/3 innings, they give up 1 hit, and they win it 4-1.